Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Bible in Order, where we are chronologically going through the entire Bible in 1 year. Today's reading for February 19th is Leviticus 19 through 21. Yahweh spoke to Moses and said, "Speak to the entire Israelite community and tell them, 'Be holy, because I, Yahweh, your God, am holy.'" The same thing holds true today. We think we've been told that God changed somehow between the Old Testament and the New Testament, or at least he changed the way he relates to humanity. Back then it was all judgment, and now it's all grace. And it's just not true. God doesn't change. David sinned, King David, and so did Solomon, and so did Abraham. And so did Jacob, who became Israel. Everyone sinned. Look at the story of Joseph. Look at even Moses. The things that he did that were wrong. And yet God knew their hearts, and he gave grace to those who needed it. And then there were times when people just crossed a line that should not have been crossed, and God struck them dead. But what he did when he struck people dead in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus and Leviticus, he also did in the book of Acts, and he also does today. And so this same God who requires and demands holiness, demanded it of Moses and the Israelite community, and he demands it of us today. We are a royal priesthood. We have been called to holiness. In chapter 20, Yahweh spoke to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, any Israelite or alien residing in Israel who gives any of his children to Molech must be put to death. People of the country are to stone him." It seems harsh until you realize what Molech worship is. This pagan god, whose name comes from the root word king, is an harsh king, an evil king, and he demanded the lives of children. People sacrificed their children. They passed them through the fire. They offered their children as burnt sacrifices to this foreign god. It's a made-up pagan god. It's actually Satan. It's Satan worship. Kill your child. Unlike worshiping the one true God who calls us to give our children, like Abraham was called to give Isaac, but provides his own sacrifice, a ram caught in a thicket, Jesus, his own son. Christians today should have nothing to do with mainstream pop culture, popular culture, that is satanic. If you are a Christian parent, why are you taking your child to see these pop singers who are satanic in their nature and in their music videos? Why are we giving our children? That word to give his children to Molech, that word give could be translated to put, to set, to allow, to appoint, to deliver, to make. Why would we deliver our children to mainstream pop culture ideologies that will destroy them? God says, no, I've called you to a higher standard. Many of us do not see people offering burnt sacrifices. We don't literally burn our children, put them in a fire and offer them to Satan or to Molech. But how do we see it played out in our lives today? How do we see people offering themselves or their children to the enemy in our culture today? Send me your comments. Go to BibleInOrder.com and fill out a contact page, or comment right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. God bless you, my friends. Thank you for being on this journey with me as we continually strive for holiness, to be the royal priesthood God is calling us to be. See you tomorrow.